Good evening. Well, we just finished qualifying, and I was on a really good last lap and slid off the track, which was a real shame. At one point, I was in P3, which was pretty amazing, but sadly, we've slipped back to P16, and that's with a pretty good time as well. I think our best was a 2:13, which is good. So that's somebody's done a really good time. They're just they've identified a driver who's going really, really quick. Few drivers got no time. So I'd much prefer the bat than I'd prefer to be in this weather with the rain. It's not good to be in the traffic. And Morphy's gone faster than me. This won't do. Morphy's gone quicker. So I really wasn't going to improve too much though. I was only going to go about maybe half a second faster at best. So that would have only moved me up to P13. So there's still some way to go. But what's really I'm after in this race is consistency. Okay, so let's get the setup loaded. Check fuel, the 104 litres. We're all set for the right tyre pressures. So just wait to drive. So my big problem, of course, going up was coronavirus is going around at the moment, and people who are going to get isolated and have to stay at home are going to be able to practice all day. So I'm not expecting great joy coming up. For the fans amongst him, looks like Salty didn't do a good time. He's qualified last. There's a plea going out on Discord right now for people to be careful on the first lap. Where's behind me? Just waiting for the start now. This will be a 1 hour race. It's due to rain all the way through the race. Had a half decent race on Sunday, which is the practice race. So we're going to have to see how this goes, really. Keeping out of trouble. And the fourth Porsche. These Ferraris are in there again. Okay, drivers enabled. Lights are on. Check settings. Rain lights on. Okay. Okay, usual start. We'll do a complete warm-up lap before we do the rolling start. We are using the start widget from ACC. That leaves us all really close up to each other. So I've got Nins right behind me. Nins was right behind me as well on Sunday and caught the back of me. So let's hope he doesn't do a repeat of that, because that's not the way I want to start my race. Just waiting to be released. Cars are pulling out now. And this visibility here is what we've got to look forward to. So just like in real life, we'll be waiting for the cars to clear the rain off the track. When the race really starts, so the first couple of laps are going to be pretty bad news. Okay. Okay, we got tyre pressures coming up okay. Temps look good. Very long lap around Silverstone. This formation lap's going to take a little while. This is the corner I really have the most trouble with. I think I take a bad line through here. Might try and learn from this race on what's a better line. Driver's getting a bit mixed up ahead of me. Temps look good, pressures look good. Surprising for just driving around slowly basically, putting the brakes on. This is the medium rain setting, by the way. That's all we get tonight, we don't get much worse. This is another very difficult corner. Oh, we're going to be doubling up.
23 Celsius. Okay, Stevie, here we go.
Never understand how this happens. We're on the widget, bang on, and then all of a sudden we're miles behind where we need to be. Ah, we're closing up now. Over first gear. When we get around this corner, I'm going to have to manually maintain the right speed, which is really tricky. Pescia needs to push up a bit, he's holding me back. Now let's hope Nins keeps it cool tonight. Oh, come on, Pescia, push up. Don't let me be out of position. I've heard you get a drive through if you're not.
Green, green, green. On your right. He's still there. Clear right. Right side. Clear right. Car right. Right side's clear.
Can't see anything.
On your right. Clear right. Car right. Clear right. Yellow flag. Keep your wits about you, mate.
I think we get down these corners. A lot of concentration then. Okay.
Car left.
That's pretty much us away now.
Hold your line.
Still going to be difficult.
He's still there. Still there. Still there. Clear left.
Okay, that comes a really difficult corner. Okay, and the really still a car pretty much just within 0.2 behind me.
Yellow flag. Keep your wits about you, mate.
Oh no. Somebody on Discord had a game crash on them.
Okay, Stevie. Hold your
Know what you want when
Smooth.
you've been
No
practicing
mistakes.
and waiting all night to get started. Okay. Whoop. Come on, keep it together. Okay. Well, that wasn't a bad first lap, to be honest. Just coming out around to the start-finish straight now. We're in one piece. We're in P14. So far, it feels like I'm a little bit faster than Strunagel in front of me.
Just keep hitting your marks. This is looking good. 17th place.
Just got to wait for the right opportunity to try and maybe get past him. There's a bit of a gap opening up in front of him. Probably really try and make progress before the track starts to clear and people start to get faster. Maybe have a go on this next straight. Yeah, it's quite a wide line there. Oh, I had to come off the power. He's in front of me, hesitating. So much so that Nins is closed right up. Ah, I think it's kind of tricky. Car keeps ending up exactly where I want to go. Movement seems a little bit jerky. Maybe there's a bit of lag on his connection. Hard to tell. Here we go. Okay, took a different line to him there. Going to carry more speed. Oh, he really stops with these corners. I think I ended up taking not a great line there. I'm a long way from the curb. Can't get a run on him. I think we're just too evenly matched on speed on this one.
The leader has just done a 2:11.41.
Leader's done a very fast time, 2:11. Way better than anything I've ever managed. In this weather anyway. A lot faster to be dry. Uh-oh. Toff's coming through the field. No, not Toff. Cotty.
Trip is leading the race. Yellow flag. Caution, E2.
Oh, lots of people off here.
There's a white flag.
Give me a chance.
Left
Cut
side.
through.
Clear left.
Hopefully now following these guys help move us up a little bit speed. Rib's actually a lap down. He must have had a drive-through or something. Maybe when I saw him he was coming out of the pits. That's giving him a lot to do. Massive gap already behind me. Cotty is the only one behind me. He's 2 and a bit seconds. I keep overcooking this corner. He will soon catch me up. So the trick to a good time is to be brave and take 5th gear through this corner. I panic a bit every time I do it, but it will go. Getting a lot of cars in front of me now, which is a good thing. I'm keeping pace.
The gap behind is now 2.1. The leader, Trip, is pitting.
Some strange behaviour going on in this corner. I've got 3 behind, 3 wide. I'll rib the lap down, so by rights should not be trying to get in the way. Voodoo is for position. Well, Voodoo's having a bit of a mare there. He's right off the track.
The car exits in the pits, heads up. You've just done a 2:15.49.
Pretty good, doing 2:15s already. T-Rip's just come out. He was P1. So maybe he's had some sort of penalty as well.
The guy ahead is Trip.
Visibility is still pretty poor. Reb's doing well. Obviously, he had the drive-through. I think he qualified probably quite well. So he's definitely going to keep pace with us. Oh, that's a bit naughty. Well. Oh, wow. Toff's got right over us somehow. I think I'm being fooled by these guys, and they're actually we could be going quicker. It's Cotty who's caught with us. I keep saying Toff. I think they got the maybe on the same team. I think they got similar coloured cars, or maybe I'm just confused. Somebody's off. Had a yellow flag then. I'm sure Voodoo's having some challenges here. He seems to be taking some wide lines at times. It was a very last minute arrival. Cotty's right on us. Well, after all the shenanigans going on, we're up to P11 now. It's pretty good. There's some very wide lines going on here down the main straight.
You're now in the lead.
Please, whoa, careful, Cotty. Please ignore crew chief. It's been acknowledged there are a few bugs, and they're going to withdraw support from ACC from crew chief, which is a real shame because the in-game caller, spotter, is not as good as crew chief. He doesn't give you any motivational speeches, and he doesn't know my name, which is of course terrible. Don't know what happened to Cotty. He suddenly vanished. He must have had a slide or something. He made a very ambitious lunge up the inside. Now he's just dropped off, so maybe he must have had a spin or something. It is tricky conditions. No matter how many times I do this corner, I really struggle to get it right. Probably hard to see, but this week I am wearing the Tarmac Specialist Jimmy Broadbent t-shirt. For the last two races, I've worn what I thought was a halo of protection with it. It was his Please No Punterino t-shirt. Didn't work. Got punted in both races. And this week with an alternate approach of being a Tarmac Specialist. So far, so good. So what we have to see if the t-shirt does work. Get all the way to the end without being punted. And not spinning, which is going to be a real challenge in these conditions.
1.6 seconds.
I'm not sure if Ruby's car is stuck behind Voodoo because he's a lap down and he clearly he's edging him. He's always up on his back of his car. At least they both managed to stay on the straight this time.
You're in the lead.
That was pretty good. I mean, did a 2:14.6 last lap, which is pretty fast for race fuel load. Starting to get a nice slide now of the car into these corners. It's Barron who's closing in on us now. He's 1.5 seconds away. Quick driver. the problem with making up places when people have spins is that we're in front of you to begin with, so they're probably quicker. So they are going to come back at you. Especially as I suddenly seem to become quite conservative in my driving. Ribs opening up a gap, Barron's closing in. Need to try and focus and do better than that. Car wouldn't grip, ended up drifting wide. Yeah, all of a sudden there's a 3-second gap to Rib and just a 1-second gap back to Barron. It's closed right in. Otherwise, I'm nearly half a second up on my best lap time so far in the race. It's just everybody else has suddenly gone a lot quicker. Squeezed a little bit closer up to Rib there.
Behind is now 1.0 seconds.
Do believe crew chief there. That was correct. Barron is closing up rapidly. I've not tried it, but a lot of people try that outside wide line on this corner. Maybe there's a lot better grip out there. Not something to experiment with though in a race. I'm going to do a 2:13.8 as well, which is pretty good.
Alright Stevie, don't think about the lap times. Just hit each and every apex, E12.
Be careful on this corner. Once or twice I've gone too tight on the inside curb there. There's some big sausage curbs and they'll launch you straight off to the side and you get an invalidated lap. It's usually recoverable because it's heavily tarmacked out there. It costs you lots of time. Well, Voodoo's had an off as an opening for me. I think he's done quite well at that, Voodoo. Well, Ribs got past him, but well, I guess you could say I'm 1.5 seconds on him. I don't think he's going to do much good either. If I managed to get past Voodoo, he's a pretty good guy, driver. Barron's going to come past me, so I'll be stuck back in P11 again. He's right on me now. Oh, where's he going? Panicking me a bit. Taking some strange lines. Trying for the inside.
Car right.
See if we can't get better momentum.
Clear right.
All he needs to do is try and position me so he gets a better exit from one of the corners and then it'll be easy for him. I think he might try a brave lunge up the inside here. Position him for it.
Car left. He's still there. Clear left. Don't panic. We'll get him back.
Danger there was if Barron overcooked it, he would take me out.
Okay,
So
Stevie,
luckily he
the next
didn't.
car is Barron.
I do think he's genuinely a little bit quicker than us. So the best thing I can hope for is he overcooks it. Pushing too hard and then I'll get position back.
That lap was at 2:15.52.
It'd be interesting now because now, oh wow. Get told off for that after I do it too many times. I was about to say this is the section that suits my car better when I go wide. You can see I'm closing in on Barron a little bit. But when we get on this straight, I think he'll be able to pull away. Do go conservative in these conditions, so it's possible I've got a little bit too much downforce. Slowing me down a little on the straights, giving a bit of an advantage to the competitors. I have to say though, it's nice to be driving when it's not like -2 on the track and it's not night time. It might be raining, but at least it's daytime. grief. Doing a very fast lap. Why can't I do this in quali? Computer's predicted it to 2:12 there for a second. Before I had a bad corner. It's back to 2:12 again though. This is one of those things that like makes you scratch your head. Tried really hard in quali. Did a 2:13. Race fuel on board. Doing 2:12s. Although you could say maybe the track's a lot clearer. Or Voodoo's had a big off. That's a place. Morphy's off too. That's another place.
Fastest lap for Trip, 2:10.87.
Trip's doing 2:10s. And I'm pretty impressed. 2:12s I'm looking at.
You're leading. The car behind's pitting.
Crew chief again, very confused. Still finished from P11, that's a bit of a shame. Oh, of course. When Baron went through, I think I dropped about P13, so that could be my fate this evening to be stuck in P11. Baron was dragging us along a little bit with his speed, but unfortunately I let the elastic go. But Morphy and Voodoo there made the point. In races like this, it's very much about staying on the track. Watch me spin at the next corner. But that is what gets you a decent result when the weather's bad, conditions are not good. What I need to be doing, of course, though, is passing cars on the track. That's the real way to do it. Just realised I haven't changed my banner on my broadcast. Naughty boy. This is not a social. This is the main race. Not changing it now, not in the middle of a race. Well, that was bad. Car virtually stopped. Yellow flag.
White flag.
I have somebody off to the left. He's going to rejoin, I think, just ahead of us. Don't cut right across. A little bit naughty. Yeah, told me he was off then and came right across the track. Perhaps unnecessarily to take the corner. But made sure I didn't get the position.
P2.
Just remember my pit stop. 10 more minutes. Oh, Baron's a way off down the road. He's got 5 seconds now. In my defence, I think when Dobby came across me, I had to brake. Slow down quite a bit for that corner. Probably cost me a second or so. The last lap time was 2:15. Shows you how the smallest things cost you quite a bit of time. Dobby's going to start building that gap. Remember, he was in front, so he's probably a little bit quicker. But maybe I can try and pressurise him a bit. Not make another mistake. And this time, if I'm closer, I'll be able to really capitalise.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag coming into this complex. I can see somebody off in the distance.
White flag.
Looks like it won't be enough for me again. I think they've rejoined. I know, still stuck in the middle of the grass. That happened to me, I think, at the weekend briefly. I think in a practice session. And I just got stuck in the grass. My wheels were just spinning. Yeah, it's P10. That's Costello who was stuck.
Yellow flag. You were today.
And another yellow flag. Somebody else off to the right. Dominic had a big slide there. I don't know who's off the track, but remaining in P10.
There's a car leaving the pits. You've just done a 2:14.35. Sector 1 is 1.5 seconds. Off the
Getting
pace.
pretty warm. Now it's Voodoo coming out of the pits. Lap down now. Keep sliding wide on that for T1. Let's be mindful of that. Don't get good lap times when you're not on the track. Okay, Costella's only 2.2 seconds behind. He was up front before he span, so we can anticipate him coming back at us. Now Voodoo's come out of the pits. Voodoo's pretty quick. I think he might actually clear off. Especially if I have my mid-race lull where I tend to slow down a little bit. I need to try and close up on Domi. Another wide line. Bit of a slow lap this one. Coming up to 14s at the moment. Second down. About 4 minutes to the pit window, really, if I'm going to split my tyre wear evenly across both stints. Oh, I had a bit of a slide there. Didn't cost me too much.
White flag, mate. Yellow flag. Watch out.
What we got? What's going on? We got a bit of a spinner. Don't think we have. I'm in P9 somehow. Maybe somebody's pitted. I think the pit window's starting to open up now, so I'll wait for it to calm down a bit.
Well done, Stevie. This is terrific. Exactly what we came here for. P9.
Oh, suddenly figured out where I am. I think somebody may have pitted. I think we've it's starting to reach the pit window. I think Domi's getting about maybe half a second a lap out of me. That's not bad. Costella's closed in within 0.7 though. Which is not too good. Because he'll be behind me soon, trying to get through. That'll start to increase the risk. Especially if I make bad corners like that. Still pegging Domi's 2.9 seconds. It's warm work tonight. Got a real sweat on. Which is nice to know, isn't it? Oh, that was bad understeer then coming out of that corner. We'll do at least one more lap. Somebody else pitting there. Yeah, Baron pitting. So we're definitely reaching the pit window. It's gonna.
Really good. Come on, keep your focus. 8th place.
There was a bit of false optimism here that we're moving up the field, but it's just people going for pit stops. Made that corner this time, that's good. And it cost Costello because he's dropped a second back now. He's Costello's holding it though. He's dropped to 0.9. It's possible it was just that bit of track suited my car more, gave me a little bit of a gap, and then he'll close right back up when we hit a bit of track that suits him. Or maybe not. Costello does appear to have dropped a little bit more than a second behind. Oh, careful. It's alright then. Nearly went into a massive slide. Instead, I think it really helped. Clearly need to be brave like that and cause massive slides. It really helped pick up some time. The real question is, do we pit this lap? Going for a PB? I've still not done a 2:12, right in the bubble of it.
New fastest lap for Trip, 2:10.46.
Tripp was claiming he was at the end of quali. It was a freak lap that beat everybody, and now he's turning them out in the race as well. We all smell a bit of a rat there that Tripp's been practicing a hell of a lot. Right, here we go.
Watch your speed. All right, Stevie. Expect traffic when you exit the pits. When we exit the pits, we should be in P30. Right.
Okay, this was a trick I saw used by Cryptic TMG to try and line up with a pit box, and I thought, what a clever trick. It probably won't work for me, but that's what I'm aiming for. Oh, floating tyres then in my pit box. I didn't check if there was any damage. Oh, did I get it right? I got it about right. Now there's no damage and no repairs, so we're in first gear. We're all set to go.
Halfway home. Got plenty of fuel.
Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. Wasting time. This looks like a good pit stop. There's no repairs. I'm only pretty much squarely in the box. You will lose time if you overshoot, and it simulates the car, the crew having to dolly the car back into the right position before they jack it up. So it looked good. 4 seconds. When it ends, I've got to wait for the engine restart, and then we just drive away. Go. No, don't do that.
Pit exit's clear. Push.
Nearly got a bad spin then, as I left the pit box because of conditions. Okay, we're in P14 at the moment, but I've no idea who around us may have done the pit stops.
Yellow flag. Caution.
Somebody's had a spin. That'll help. Do not hit me.
Car right. You're right.
Okay. There's no indication. Ah, there is an indication. Yeah, the next few cars up front have not had a pit stop yet. "28 minutes to go. Tires looking okay. Skies are looking a little brighter, but I don't think it's going to make much difference to the track. The way the weather's set, it'll probably just start raining heavy in a minute. Ooh, that was a badly off the track there. So we had a decent pit stop. The real aim for today, try and get for a top 10. I think we had a pretty solid P11. But there are a lot of quick people out here today. Back in P13 now, following my pit stop. I think others still have to take theirs, like this guy in front. I need to get back into my rhythm though. It's a bit of a sloppy out lap.
Okay, Stevie, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up. This is good. Keep banging out them lap times. P11.
Dominic's had a slower pit stop than me, looks of things. Oh, he's really close. He will be in front of me. Maybe I'd taken that corner a bit better. I won't be able to really take advantage of this. I think his tyres will need to get sort of in the groove, and I'll have a slight advantage, but it won't be enough to get past him. And can maybe frighten him for a lap or two. It was 3-second gap, now it's a 2-second gap. Just had a horrible thought. I hope I did change tyres. There's been people got DQ'd in the past when they've gone for the pit stop, changed tyres, but somehow through a bug in the software, put the same set of tyres back on, and you end up with a DQ. Let's not think bad thoughts. Yeah, Domi's a little bit like I was on my outlap, a little bit wide of the apexes. You wait for the car to get back on it under control, get the tyres working again. Yeah, Domi's already 1.4 seconds, too quick for me. If I'd not been quite so hesitant on my outlap, maybe I would have just gone in front of him. But it probably would have just been a matter of time before he came past. I'm not sure about Robinson. I don't know if he's... Domi's really pressured him. He's pulled right over. It's an unusual move. What's he doing? For position, I think. Robinson's really slow. He's pitting. That was close, because he came right across me to pit. That really cost me, that did. There's Domi now. 12 to 12. Can't see. Crew chief still thinks I'm in the lead, but I'm nowhere near the lead. Oh wow, another slide. T1. Domi's 3 seconds now. Back to where he was before the pit stop rounds. I think that back marker that was in the way really helped him out a little bit there. I'll be generous to my own skills. I think Domi would have pulled away regardless. Just sped the process up 25 minutes. And we're in P8 at the moment, so this is feeling pretty good. Fingers crossed, famous last words. Castella's 12 seconds behind now. So we need to keep it consistent. We need to try and keep Domi in contact and try and make it as long as possible before Castella can catch us up. That was alright. Oh, come on, pick it up. Bad habit there, panic, got frightened, dropped down to fourth. Let's keep it in fifth for that corner, keep the speed up. Yellow flag up ahead.
Trip is now leading.
Trip's back in front again, according to crew chief. I'm not sure we should have a steward's inquiry into Trip's times. He's pulling out alien level times.
Time was 2:13.84.
On On us poor tier 5ers, we're not used to these sort of times being turned in. I think the steward should investigate his car, check there's no dodgy removing of weights and lifting of the balance of power penalties to give him an unfair advantage. It's all sounding a bit fishy to me. Of course, the ultimate penalty for Tripp will be to bump him up to tier 4. But Domi down at 2.7 seconds, so that's good. 20 minutes to go. Lap times are still pretty consistent, just 0.26 out of above my PB. I see a 2:12 before the end of the race, but not sure if that's going to be possible. Now, no matter what happens, it always seems in the last 10 minutes of a race, my car goes absolutely awful. Grip goes all over the place. We'll see, hopefully tonight, what won't be the case. Because it would be nice to have a half-decent result for once. I remember my original aim for this season was to try and be in the top 10. I managed it once. And that was a real drama fest at Paul Ricard. Ooh, that wasn't good, that wasn't good. Bax is behind me, 10 seconds, but it's not a factor, it's a lap down.
Yellow flag.
Oh wow, that's not a place to stop.
White flag. Right side's clear.
That was not a place to start. That really surprised me. It was right on the outside of the inside of the corner, but right on the almost just off a racing line. He's possibly just trying to be helpful, keep out of the way. But it was a bit frightening to see him there. Okay. Crew chief still convinced I'm winning the race. I'm not. I'm in P9, I think it is. P8. I think we're closing in. Seem to be closing in quite quickly on Steve Carey. I never noticed him until just now.
Come on, head up. Keep your focus further down the track. 20 minutes remaining. You've got 20 minutes
Yeah,
left.
a real threat. Castella. P9 is 13 seconds away. There's still plenty of time for me to make a complete cock up of a corner and spoon this up. So focus.
Tripp is now leading.
To give you an idea of how far behind the leader we are. When crew chief announced he's still leading, I presume he'd only just passed the start-finish line. We're half a lap behind. Nice traffic cone there in the middle of the track. Right, focus on this corner. No fourth gear. Got that corner. It's the way you should. Keep power down. I wonder if Steve Carey's had a bit of a moment somewhere. He just suddenly came onto the board and was in front of us. 2 cars up. $17 laps, about to enter lap 18. So 18 minutes left on the clock.
You're all over the place. Come on, man. Get your head back together.
Crew chief isn't impressed by my lap time there. Oh wow, drifting off the track again. 2:13.7, man. What do you want? Pretty good lap.
The leader, Tripp, is pitting.
Oh, that's a surprise. So P1 Tripp's left his pit stop So we've only got 17 minutes to go. That's quite late in the race. I'm suspecting I'm quite overfueled here. I did a little bit of a last-minute panic, put an extra 5 litres in or so. When I did the test race on Sunday, I finished with like 3 litres in the tank. Really tight for fuel. This Porsche in front of us, Pescia, I think he started actually directly in front of me, is a lap car. So have a close up. Hopefully he'll just pull out the way, let us through. There's still 12 seconds behind, and that's the real. Yeah, you can see the weird line there. Pescia is taking through there. He'll lose a lot of speed.
Tripp is now in the lead.
It's Tripp had time. Maybe that's what Tripp's plan was. He's pitted and come out and still in the lead. Yeah, Pescia's taking some odd lines there. You see how tight he was over to the left. Really slows you down for that corner because you're virtually stopping on the apex. Oh, that cost me a lot of time. That was nothing to do with Pescia. That was my mistake. I've lost 2 seconds. Cannot afford to do that, being chased from behind. At least I didn't spin, didn't go off. Well, drifted a long way off onto the side. Domini's now 6 seconds. He was just 3 seconds away from me. So he's trying to focus. Domini's doing such consistent times, I'm unlikely to pull that 6 seconds back again, but watch them sausage curbs on the inside. We'll do untold havoc. 15 minutes and 50 seconds to go. That's 7 or 8 more laps. Got fuel for 10. Just to prove I've got way too much fuel. Castella's still at 14 seconds, so fingers crossed we're still going to be safe. But if I want to move up from P8, I need to be in a position where I can capitalise on any potential mistakes. If Domi catches up with Carey, it's possible they'll start fighting each other, slow each other down, or possibly even touch and have an off. If I'm too far away, I won't be able to sort of exploit that situation.
Okay, Stevie, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
Push on, it's 7.5 seconds. Yeah, they're within a second of each other, so it's possible Domi's smelling a bit of blood there and is pushing on. There still seems a bit of a gap visually when I see him in the distance. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of a gap there. Still getting understeer on that corner. Throwing me off the track, not good. Oh, Domi did a 2:15. And I did a 2:14, so that's good. Ooh, be careful. Oh, what's going on? I think Domi and Carey have had an exchange of places, maybe carried a little off. Said they were closing in. Or maybe Carey's carrying a bit of a problem. They're both still quite a way away from me. I'm losing time somehow. It's 8 seconds to carry, but there has been an exchange of places.
Tripp is leading the race.
Now, just in case we hadn't forgotten, Tripp is still leading the race. I think he's led from the flag. Protesting all the way that he doesn't know how he's got that time. It's just a freak. think it's starting to rain heavy again. Maybe the computer's got a magic detector to say the track's drying out and went, oh, we'll have another rain shower then. Right, let's try and get this corner right for once. Nope, we don't. That was awful. Really had to slow down then. I think this is my tyres maybe, or my car starting to do its usual protest at the end of the race. I'm losing 2 seconds this lap. I'm definitely going to not catch these guys up. I don't know why my times really start to drop at the end of a race. I'm really pushed. Costella's now 10 seconds away. We've got 10 minutes. If he catches a second a lap, I mean, I've lost 2 seconds that lap somehow. Wow. Why am I losing so much time? Or am I getting some false data? Oh, he definitely took 2 seconds out. Oh wow, car's getting very difficult to control all of a sudden. I'm only 0.2 down on my best, but still. Not a good sequence of corners. It's 10 seconds back to Costella. 10 minutes, well 11 minutes nearly. Oh my god. It's going awful. I keep catching curves and dragging the car back. Let's focus. Yeah, but a second down again. Keep this up. He's going to be all over us. 9 seconds now.
Trip is now leading.
Definitely not worried about Trip at the moment. I'm worried about my own position. There's the 2 Mercedes.
You've got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes to go. Yellow flag. Keep your wits about you, mate. White flag.
Somebody's had a spin a bit slow. It's Carey's pointing the wrong way, so that's a position. He'll be swearing about that, I'm sure. Really, really upset he was doing so well. That's up to P7. There's a good gap between him and Domi, so I'm just presuming he just lost the rear end.
Okay, Stevie, keep it nice and smooth. Come on, let the race come to us. P7.
Right, need to really try and keep this tight now. P7's a very good result if I can bring it home. 9 minutes to go. Famous last words. Saw how Carey had an issue there. Possibly just, it could have been anything, could have just lost of attention for a second or two. Domi's 12 seconds away. Carey's got himself back on the track and it's 8 seconds. And it's pretty quick, but our times were pretty consistently close. So as long as I don't keep catching curves like I have been the last few laps, slow myself down, in theory, I should be able to keep Carey at bay. At the moment this lap's 0.5 of a second off the PB. It's pretty tidy. That's 0.6, 0.7.
New fastest lap for Trip, 2:10.04.
Definitely the rain's getting harder, the track's going to get wetter again. Well, that's an advantage or not, I don't know, but second down again on the PBE. Just turning in 2:14s every time now. 7 minutes to go. And yeah, it's 1.5 seconds. Carries back to 5 seconds away. Really need to push on. Need to find those lap times I was doing earlier.
All right, Stevie, just keep hitting your marks. This is looking good. 7th position.
Pressure coming out of the pits there. He must be having a bit of a mare of a race. Carries 5 seconds down now. He's probably frustrated and probably pushing hard. Whereas I'm trying to be a little bit cautious and not mess up my race, which caused me to lose a little bit of time. 0.2 of a second. Six minutes to go. We've got probably 3 more laps. Finish this one and maybe 2 more. It's going to be tight. Parry's gone. I think he's had a problem. Oh, I need to focus on what I'm doing. He's not there. He must have been pushing too hard. So distracted then. I went around the corner in the wrong gear. Costella's still closing in his 8 seconds. We had a decent lap. Carries down to 10th. He must have been pushing really hard and possibly had a spin. My classic mistake usually is to push too hard and have an accident. This would be my best result, so we're trying to really hold it together. 5 more minutes to go. So that is at least 3 laps, possibly 4. I've got fuel for 5, so maybe the fuel is about right. It's a decent lap that was. It was only 0.8 of a second slower than my best. Car just is not gripping so well anymore. Very difficult to make T1 there. The guy behind is doing better lap times than me. Yeah, Costella's pushing hard. I think it's 7.7 seconds now. There's only 3 laps. Possibly 4. Hopefully just 3. I really want to get to the end and get this place. Oh, overcooking it. Come on. I lost a second there. Can't afford to do that. He will close in on me really quickly. Still terrifying going around that corner in 5th gear. Six-and-a-half second gap. It's 3 minutes of the race to go.
10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Yellow flag ahead. I can see a car. It's told me I think it's too far away, and if he has an off, that's be a real unfortunate one. Ooh, 1.78 seconds down that lap. It's now 5 seconds. It's going to be super tight if I can't do a decent lap this time. Tommy has had a bit of an off. Oh no, it's a back marker in front of us. I really hope he does not get in the way. think I might start to see the car that's behind me. Oh, he's a real worry. He's just cut right across the grass. I'm staying over to the right, thank God. Get past him.
Car right, clear right.
Being completely selfish. Let's hope he gets in Costella's way. Let's be horrible.
2 minutes.
6 seconds now. When the clock runs down, the leader's got to get through and finish the last lap, and then we've got to follow them through. So there's at least one more lap after this one, possibly 2, I hope not. Oh, we're really struggling to make this corner now. It's twice now I've slid off. Leader's on the final lap. So this is it. We're going to get to the end of this lap and round the next one. I keep making mistakes like that. Costella's going to be all over me. It's 4 seconds now. Push, push, push. But don't push too much. I'll even take this in 4th to try and be safe. I'm going to try and remain focused, not get panicked. Still 4.3 seconds. If I can peg him at 4 seconds, obviously we'll be okay, but it's easier said than done. No fuel for 3 laps. So my panic at the start, adding an extra 5 litres was not a good idea. Computer's saying 3.7 seconds now is the gap. One more cock up on that final corner.
You're now in the lead.
And it'll be right on me, so I really need to focus on this final lap. Try and get decent corners, decent apexes. Well, it's working because 0.1 of a second up on my PB. Oh, 0.18. Don't be fooled. Stella will be pushing just as hard. It'd be really nice if I could do a 2:12 on my last lap. I'm not expecting it though. Right, brake nice and early this time. Okay, leader's over the line. This is it. I've got this steering wheel and a Deathlight vice grip. 3 seconds now. Just seeing coming around the corner behind me. Didn't spin out on that corner. That would have been about fitting. Last time through was complex. I think I'm not going to say anything. Famous last words. All goes wrong on the last corner. I'm doing really good lap time. Just 8/100ths of a second off a PB. I'm not too interested in chasing a PB. It's looking good. Totally clean lace. Never came close to contact with anybody. And we're coming around over the line for a P6 from the looks of things. P6 it says. I'm not sure if somebody's disconnected straight away, but whew, that was a good result. That was a half decent result, that was. Hung on all the way. Whew. I think I'll lead and drive back. To the pits.
White flag, mate. Clear left.
There's Costella, who was trying to catch us. Brought back about an 11 seconds back to 3 over just 10 laps or so. Whew. And there was a quiet turnout tonight. There weren't many drivers. There was only about 26 drivers. I'm pretty pleased with that. It was a very clean race. No contact with anybody. No big moments. Our fireworks are going off. Somebody's on Discord saying, what happened to them? The wet race happened to me in reverse at Monza, where I'd set all my setups up for a wet race and didn't
Yellow flag, watch out.
didn't pay attention going into the pits, and on a completely dry race I fit wet tyres. And the same's happened to another guy. He's coming to the pits and he's put dries on, which in these conditions of course would be a complete nightmare. Well, unfortunately, my teammate didn't turn up tonight. He wasn't able to make it, so maybe won't help us too much with the team. But he did say he was struggling anyway for practice. So probably would have struggled a bit in these conditions. I've managed to squeeze in practice here and there. I've had a lot on.
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
Okay. I'll park the car. Oh, there's only 2 rounds to go, and I won't find out my position on the table for probably a day or so until it's updated. I dropped a long way down. I was at P15, so unlikely to have massively moved up the group table. But thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you for the next race when I find the rounds. Cheerio.